If you have not started building your email list in 2025, then this video is going to be very important for you to watch. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to do a step-by-step tutorial walkthrough. I'm going to show you how I'm going to build a little freebie opt-in using a tool called GoHighlevel GHL, and basically we white label it so it's even easier that you can basically turn into a free opt-in machine for you, your business. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So this is the backend of GHL or GoHighlevel. We white label this platform and call it the Online Business Automator. If you want to learn more, check out the links in the description down below. But essentially what I'm going to show you in this video is how we're going to use the software, this tool, to create a super simple, clean, easy lead magnet and our email list builder in less than 15 minutes. Let's dive in. We're going to start over in the sites section here, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to just start literally from blank so that we are not cheating. We're going to go to create a new funnel, and we're just going to call this the demo list builder. Now, I'm not going to go through all the nitty-gritty details of how the platform works. Plenty of content that covers that. What I'm going to do here is more so just show you how quick and easy we can do it. Now I'm going to add a new step. We're going to call this one the opt-in page, which is basically where people are going to go to join the list. When we create that funnel step, I'm going to add one more on here. Right now I'm just building out the pages for this. So we only need 2 pages. We need the opt-in page and then what we would call the thank you page. Now, depending on the type of funnel that you're building, whether it's a workshop or a quiz or a freebie, in this case, we're just going to do like a free little download thing. You might change what you're doing, but the basics are always there. Opt-in page, thank you page. Pretty simple. Okay, so next thing we need to do, we have the 2 pages on here. We're going to add on a domain. I've set this up before, so we're just going to do our custom domain here. And then I'm going to hit save down on the bottom. If you're using tools like Google Analytics or Facebook meta tracking, you'll want to make sure you put your code, your pixel, and your tag here and inside of the body tracking, so that way you get that track. But again, not going to worry about that right now. Let's go back to steps real quick, and we're going to go ahead and build this puppy out. So opt-in page, we're actually not going to use the existing. I'm going to create this from blank so you can see how quick and easy it is. So I'm going to start with a full width here, and I'm just going to add in a column and really quickly throw in a little logo here. So this is going to be my header. Let's see. These, of course, are already pre-built assets, so we don't have to spend as much time on them. I'm adjusting the width here, make it a little smaller. And then there's a lot of white space on this that I don't love. So one of the things that I need to do is go to styling here, and I'm just going to remove this padding so it's not so like spaced out. And then to save myself time here, I'm going to save this as just like a global section for this one. I'll show you what that means in a second. We're going to call this header. That way it's branded with my beautiful little logo. Next, we're going to build in the body section. So I'm going to add another section in here, full width. And I'm going to actually do 2 columns, and I'll show you why. So I want this to look a little nicer. I don't want to be completely janky. And I'm going to need to add an element. Now, the element I'm going to need to add is a form. So for demo purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and create a new form. We're going to click here, pretend I don't have a bunch. And then all we need for our form is basically a name and email field to capture the contact information. So we're going to go add form. We're going to create from blank. Go ahead and build that out. Okay. And then GHL has all of this fun stuff on here. I actually don't need all of this for this one. I'm not doing anything with text messaging today, so there's that. Give me a sec so I can delete this element to make it a little bigger so I can exit that. Great. And then I'm also going to exit this little element here. I don't need the phone number, and I don't really care for, the last name on this one. So all I really need is the first name and the email. Now I'm going to label this accordingly up here at the top. We're going to call this demo opt-in. That way we know. And then there's a few other things I'm going to tweak on here. I'm going to go over to settings, and I want this to be a line, not a box. I just feel like aesthetically for me, it's a little bit more pleasing. I can also make this a single line. Probably not though. We'll do 2 columns. So first name, email, beautiful. And then the second thing that I'm looking at here, there's a lot of spacing in between, so we'll fix that. Let's go to colors and background, and then what I want, I'm going to remove this border. I don't want a border on this one, and I'm also going to remove this shadow Again, these are just little details that I don't want, so that way it's just nice and flat. And then the other thing that I want to do is I want to change this button color because I really don't love it. So I'm going to select here. I have this little color picker from Zilla. ColorZilla up here. It's a Google Chrome extension, free little plugin that you can use. Basically, we're going to go pick color history, and I'm just going to grab one of the colors that I've had before, copy that in here, and then we're going to go to paste. All right. I have to add that little hashtag there. Boom. Great. Okay, and then I'm just changing the button text. Get the freebie. Boom. And then of course I'm gonna center that here. Lovely. I'm gonna make this full width, beautiful, and then hit save. So what we just did, opt-in form, made it a little nicer. Of course we can always customize to the nth degree. The last thing I'm gonna do on here is settings. So they literally just released this feature this morning. Bear with me as I'm having to re-navigate the way that they're doing this. I am going to use the sticky contact option, which basically lets us say to where if somebody's filled out the form before, then their information is going to be automatically input, which is great. And then if I have a Facebook pixel, I'll put it in here, but I'm not for demo purposes. And then there's that little piece there. So let's go ahead and hit save. This all looks good. And now we're going to go back to that funnel page. So over here, we're building it. I can come in and now I can search for my little demo opt-in form. Boom, look at that, beautiful. Okay, now the important thing on this part is I just need to change this. So instead of using the action from the form builder, I'm just gonna have it go to the next step in the funnel. That way it goes to the thank you page. And then right here, I can come in and say, hey, get this freebie. We can add an image to it if we wanted to. So we can just come over here, drop that bad boy in, select it. Let's see. We'll use this one. This one works. And then if I wanted to have something like maybe like a sentence or so to describe it. We're going for speed over perfection today, y'all. Here's why you want this amazing lady. This font here is really itty bitty. I'm gonna put it at 18 pixels. There we go. And I'm just gonna fix the spacing on this. So the padding, put about 10 pixels on each end. There you go. And then the last thing that I'm gonna add on here, again, simplicity's sake, we are rolling against time, is the footer. So I'm gonna come in section. We're gonna drop that full width. We're gonna add a row, boom. And then we're gonna add in the text. And then we're just gonna have copyright. Now it is best practices. You do want to have your terms of service and your privacy policy links on your pages. You should have those on your site. If you don't already, make sure you go and get it. It's very important that you do have this. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna hyperlink these. So I'm highlighting the text and then I'm gonna link. And then I'm gonna open that in a new window. Move that. And I'm gonna do it one more time for this one, for my terms of service page. New window, boom, save. Okay. And then because I am an aesthetic girly, I am gonna change the color on this one. So the background color, JHL nicely has my brand colors built in because I edited beforehand. So I'm just gonna change this to that darker color. That way it brings the eye down a bit more. But what I need to do also is make this section a little bigger. So I'm clicking on the section, we're gonna go style, and then I'm just gonna adjust by about 80 pixels on the top and bottom here. That way it's a little bit more spaced out. And then we just need to fix this text. So we're gonna come down here and down, and then we're gonna highlight this one, and I'm just gonna change those to a white. And then I want this this text here, this highlighted text, I'm actually gonna have it be this nice little green sprout color, so a little bit more on brand. Once it's done, I'm just gonna hit publish. So this is gonna make this little page live. Now, the important thing here, this little SEO window is gonna pop up. What I'm gonna do is basically just give it a title like, get the freebie. This is what's gonna show up on Google. Download this awesome freebie today. Beautiful. And then a social image. So the social image is usually just like whatever you're gonna have as the graphic. If you don't have one, feel free to just use your logo, but that's what that's gonna look like. hit update SEO metadata. And then I'm just going to come back here. I'm going to save this section and I'll show you why in just a moment. We're going to call this our footer. Boom, save, publish again. And then we're just going to do one more thing here. I'm going to check the mobile optimization. So desktop and then mobile. On mobile, I'm going to decrease the padding on the top there. I'll leave it on the bottom, that's fine. And that order looks good to me. So not a whole lot of changes. Okay, now we're going to swap over to the thank you page. We are doing this so well, y'all. And what we're going to do here is we're going to grab our saved sections. So we talked about this. We're going to go ahead and pull those ones over that we just created. Look at that, saving time. We're going to add our header. We're going to add, whoops, save sections global, add our footer. And then of course we need to add another new section here. And this one's just going to be a nice little thank you page. All right, done. Now you can chat GPT the text here. We're just basically showing you what we're doing. Thank you for downloading the freebie. Now typically you'll just want to have some little instructions here. Boom, styling. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more spacing. And then one of the other cool features that JHL just released is you do have the ability to have the download option on a page, which is great. So I can have this button here. I'm going to change this to a little bit more of like a, not loving that one. I'll use this one. Brand color. And I need to change the text color because it's kind of hard to read on that green. Beautiful. Now on this button, the action that I want it to take is not to open up a pop-up, but instead download file. So if I'm going to have like a freebie that I'm going to be giving away on this one, then I would basically just upload that PDF here. And then they can just literally download it by clicking on that button, which is wonderful. Now, of course, we just need to fix the padding here because the page looks a little wonky. So we're going to go styling and we're going to bump this one to 80 and 80. If you want to add additional stuff, feel free. I'm not going to. And then I'm going to hit publish. So now we've got our opt-in page, we've got our thank you page. And then the final thing is basically the automation on the back end. How do we actually make it to where when somebody opts in, they get an email notification and other things from us? That, my friends, is going to be in a different section. But before we go there, let's go ahead and test out our funnel here and make sure that it's working the way we want. So we're going to pull open our opt-in page. We're going to go ahead and pop it up. Okay, and then let's go ahead and see. It's looking good. It's looking good. We'll take it, get the freebie. Bump, bump, bump. Amazing. It's redirecting to where we want. Now we can basically download it, and it downloaded. Amazing. So that is our little freebie funnel in less than 15 minutes. Go team. The last step on here, pretty quick and easy, is just going to be building out the automation. So automation wise, we're going to swap a do over here to the automation section. And we just need a really simple workflow. So the workflow that we're going to build out, okay, I'm just going to create it from scratch here. Create workflow. We need two things. We need what the trigger is, which is basically what turns it on, and we need the actions on the other side. But best practices, we got to label, y'all. We got to label. Demo workflow for freebie is what I'm going to call this one. Now, the action, what turns it on here, sorry, the trigger, what's going to turn it on here is going to be the form submitted. So basically, we're going to use that. We're going to look for the actual form specifically. There it is. I'm going to hit save. And then I want to do one main thing, which is send an email. Now you can use a template if you have a template, but for this one, again, demo opt-in testing. This is going to be the subject line. Type whatever you want there. Feel free to use custom fields. Again, I'm not going to get too in detailed on this for this one. I'm just going to go over the basics. Save it, publish it, save it. Congratulations. Now you have a funnel. So what this is going to do for you is basically going to be something that now you can share that freebie link where you can go ahead and use it on social media or in places that you go when you're on podcasts or whatever it is that you do for your business. People can go ahead, opt in, join your email list. They'll get that email. They'll get the freebie, and you get their contact information so that you can start your email marketing process. Hopefully this was pretty straightforward, pretty easy. We do have a lot more templates that are, in my opinion, a little nicer inside of our membership. So if you haven't checked it out, feel free to check out the link down below. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you build your first freebie funnel in under 15 minutes. If you're looking for a nicer, more beautifully designed template for this, feel free to check out our membership. The link for it is in the description down below. You can join anytime and it is a month to month, so feel free to check it out. And then if you decide it's not for you, you can cancel. Inside that membership, we do have plenty of free resources and content, including all of our GHL templates that we've built out over the years. So you can use those to grow your own business on top of actually the business and marketing development components, the strategy that goes into how you grow your business. If you're curious about how this all works and you want to see it in real time, you can also check out our free quiz, again, linked down below in the description, where you can take our little assessment and learn more about what is holding you back in your business, where do you need to be focusing next, and have more insight tailored to how to grow from where you are today. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button over there, wherever it is on this thing. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. If you have questions, comment down below. Otherwise, I'll see y'all soon. Bye!